Hi, this is Robert Greer. This is Sprint 1 for Se456. I'll start by running the project and showing the unit tests passing here. So 4 tests passed. Alright, so we'll jump into the diagram here. So I added two classes, ListBase and SLinkManager. So ListBase is the abstract class with all the functions that we need to interact with. And the SLinkManager implements that. So it has all the add and removes from the first assignment, as well as some more that I added, which I'll get into. And then here's our manager, which has the two list bases here that you can see active and reserve that it owns. So it has a bunch of getters for those various values. It has a constructor, so it just assigns the growth scale, and then based on the initial number we want, we just grow the reserve by that amount with this helper function. Add, we check it to see if the reserve is empty. This is a method I added to the ListBase abstract class. And if it's empty, we'll grow the reserve by the growth amount. So this is just a helper, grow the reserve by the growth scale, which just loops over and adds more reserve nodes. And then once we've grown it, we then activate a node. So this is another helper that pops one off the reserve, initializes it, adds it to the active, and then returns it. And that makes our add method look very simple. Next, I'll jump down to remove. So we just remove a node from the active, wash it, which just clears out the data, then add it to the reserve list. All right, and then next is find. So this find is pretty cool. I used a comparator here. So I defined this predicate class, which just has a Boolean function. And then I defined a binary comparator, which is a type of predicate that has a left-hand side argument. And what it does for its check is it just calls compare with the left-hand side against the right-hand side. So I use this in the node to be able to compare a name to a node. So I just cast the left-hand side to a node name, the right-hand side to a node, and then I compare them by name. So I use this in Manager. I have a name to node comparator called name to node. Okay, great. So then in find, I can say, hey, active list, find the first instance by predicate with my name to node checker and use the name that was passed in. So that calls this abstract function, which jumps to my SLinkManager implementation, where I iterate over the SLinks. I check the condition that I passed in, and if it's true, I'll return the node. So that allows me to find it by name. This is cool because it encapsulates the SLink iteration inside of SLinkManager, so my manager doesn't have to know how to iterate it. It just calls this function. All right, so there's those classes as well in the diagram. And that's it for this one, so thank you.